Back on the Galaxie here a bit. I got some things in the mail. I ordered this from, what is it, Auto Crafters, Car Crafters, I forget. Anyway, I got the bumper for the glove box door, the bumpers for the ashtray, I believe. Yep, ashtray door bumpers. There was two different styles of glove box bumpers, and they're like $1, so I just got both. And there was also, I bought the bumpers for the front seat reproduction. Whoops, and this. Reproduction bumpers for the, when I do the seat, then I can replace them too. There was this too, which is for the PCV valve on the engine. I'll have to get it out of there. It's just a little plastic disc that goes between the hose and the valve, just showing it like as an auto light. I just thought a little detail. It was like $1, so I thought, why not? You know, you pay minimum $15 shipping, so you might as well make it worthwhile. There's a few things that were back ordered that aren't here that they ship, but they don't charge additional shipping when they do. Yeah, the shipping is a little high everywhere nowadays. It's just nuts how much shipping costs. But anyway, I'm going to put those grommets in. These are the original ashtray grommets. These are the original glove box grommets. So it looks like two were bigger and one was smaller. There's three. And these are packages of two. So that's probably two of these and one of these I'll need. And yeah, that looks about right. And this is the bumper for the stop. When you flap the door open, it has that stop on it. So we'll get those installed, and the ashtray ones too. There we go, all the bumpers installed and the little bumper on that, so when it comes back it doesn't hit metal to metal. This little plastic thing I put on before I put the door back on. But yeah, now they close nice and even, and don't have to worry about it chipping the paint when they close now. And just shove them closed. I had a viewer ask me if I tested the high beam indicator light, and yes, I did. So I just thought I'd show it, seeing I didn't show it the last time. These cleaned up really nice, and they work really well. So the cables are all done. These are the two floor vents, heater control, done. As I said, that's cleaned up. So basically all the dash stuff is cleaned up, and this is ready for a pad. So I'm going to get the steering column out now, and then I'll work on installing the pad and reinstall the dashboard to get it out of my way. I took this out to clean it all up and put the switch on it for the parking brake warning, that blinker bulb that you see in the bottom of the dash. All this does is complete the circuit to ground. I'll show you when I put it on how that works. And now that I got this off, it's just threaded on. I had a couple people ask me how that knob comes off. You can clearly see it's just threaded on once you get it out of there. So I just unscrewed it, and I'll clean it all up, maybe repaint the black in this. And I mean, this is kind of under the dash, you don't see a lot of it, but that'll clean up good enough anyway. Alright, I'm going to throw this in the parts washer. To get that out, there was two lock nuts, and I used my 1/4 inch drive with the 1/2 inch socket to get them out, because they're jammed way the heck down. One is like right there, and one is down a little further, so they're really down in there. It would have been a lot easier to get those out when the car was apart, but I wasn't to the point where I wanted to clean that up. But it's out, and it wasn't that too bad. The parking brake assembly cleaned up nice. I only repainted what was originally painted by Ford and left what wasn't painted, what not unpainted. And I washed all the grease out around the pivots and stuff. I just put a couple drops of oil in here, a couple in there, and I'll spray it with white grease all up in there before I put it back in the car. I installed the switch for the parking brake warning light, which that wire plugs on here from the lamp. When that comes up and contacts that grounds it out and turns on the light. I cleaned up the pull handle, but it's still kind of beat up looking, so maybe I'll see if I can find a little better one, used one on eBay or something. That just threads on, no big deal. So let me see if the light works with that. I just hooked it up, so I wanted to make sure it worked. I powered up the harness and put a jumper from this to ground because this isn't bolted to anything to ground. But when you apply that and it touches that, yeah, that's when the brake warning light comes on. And then when you release the brake, obviously it turns it off. Now I'm just not putting it up to ratchet. Look at those teeth, are like brand new, and that dog that catches it. I think the parking brake was rarely used on this car, but that's how it's supposed to work. And with the key on, when you turn the key off, obviously you lose power to it, or an accessory. Oh, and also, just in case you're wondering, I didn't show that working in the other video. It does work. When you turn it to start, it actually tests the circuit for the hot light and illuminates the bulb. The oil light comes on obviously because it's low oil pressure. When the engine's cold, that light comes on. There's no key position to illuminate it, to test it. You know, if it burns out, it's not like the hot light to where if it burns out, yeah, it could cause an issue. And the alternator light comes on once the harness is plugged into the car for the alternator and stuff. But I did check that with you know, through the wiring harness there by grounding it out just to make sure it did work. But anyway, yeah, so we got a working parking brake warning lamp. Now before I put this back in, I'm gonna pull all the cowl vent out on that side and paint the inside of the cowl and maybe paint that door up. Note the clock's working again now that every time I powered it up, you can hear the clock whine immediately, and then it keeps time. It works good. Happy the clock works. There, it just wound. Just in case if you're wondering, these little clips here, you know, like they're impossible to keep clipped to a battery post, you know, they just pop off. They'll stay a little bit, but when there's nothing on there. So I just put a alligator clip like that on it, and then I can just clip my wire. If you don't want it out there, you can clip it in there. But that's how I get power to my little leads here. I like using these little ones, you know, when you're playing around with wiring harnesses and stuff. Just you know, a little tidbit of what I do to power things up. Now, as you can see, this is clear access. There's the parking brake cable, by the way. There's a little clip after that pushes through the assembly that goes through and holds it in the brake assembly, and that just goes in that little thing that pivoted I showed you there. But basically just take these screws out and this vent will come out, and then I can clean it and repaint that metal in there, and then I can get in there and paint the inside of that box, which is mostly just primer. I really don't see any rust in there. There's some black undercoating up there. I can't see down in there, it's just too dark, but we'll get this out. We'll get that door off. You can see it's just held on with one nut, and we'll give it a repaint, clean all that dirt and everything up so it looks nice, because the plastic panel that goes on over this has little louvers in it, and you can kind of see in there. So I want it to look nice, so we're gonna make it look nice. That came out pretty darn easy. You can see green overspray on it. So these were, I don't know, I didn't spray anything to where I would have got, maybe I did, I don't know. I didn't think I sprayed anything to get it on the top. That might be factory overspray. It might be from when I painted the car, but we're gonna clean all this up nice and paint all the metal in there so it looks nice. Gave it a quick cleanup. I'm gonna paint all the bits in there black, and paint that metal black, paint all these bits. This is what held this piece to this. See how that's got like that's where that goes. And then the fasteners, and the thing for the wiring harness. I think I'll get everything painted up nice and let it dry overnight, and tomorrow we'll put it back in. I am going to try and do both sides today, so I can, I want to get the parking brake in, so then I'm going to start getting the steering column out. I just realized I didn't get any video of this before I painted it and then undercoated it. But yeah, I did. And it's hard to get the light with the camera and everything. But I did paint the panel in there. I wiped it out with lacquer thinner really good, vacuumed it out, blew it out with a compressed air, painted it with Rust-Oleum rusty metal primer, let that dry for about an hour, and then I sprayed WD-40 in all the cracks and nooks and crannies, and then I put this stuff right here over it. And when this dries tomorrow, probably I'll paint black over this, probably some black Rust-Oleum, and that will keep dirt from sticking to that, so it doesn't look like heck when you look through there and, you know, in a year or so. So that's my plans. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I did glue that weather strip. I got some more glue and glued it. I just did that here a little while ago, so I'll let that dry in there. The popsicle sticks are just kind of holding it against what it needs to be glued to. And then that wing window should work perfect when I'm done here. Getting all the bits and pieces painted for this vent, as you can see. That's what held the harness on the outside. This is all painted up nicely, so it won't look bad once it's back in. And painted the door to the thing too, both sides, so it won't have any rust issues or anything. We'll get that unmasked here shortly, and we'll let all that stuff dry overnight, like I say, and then tomorrow I'll spray the inside of those boxes with the same paint I painted that which is this. Just in case if you're curious. Yeah, that definitely looks better cleaned out and painted, and when that, you can see that's the outside. The side, you see that's the part the cable, you know, this pole cable doodad attaches to, that goes over that. This is actually will be the shorter cable that goes this one. This is the driver's side. As you can see, this is top left. See, I forgot to get video of the other one before I cleaned it up and painted it. I just thought I'd show this. See, you can see some seam sealer there on the bottom left. I guess that needs to be cleaned up, and I'll give everything a light sand in there. You see where the hinges bolt on. Really good shape considering the age of the car. So let me get that cleaned up, and I'll do the same with this side as I did the other side. There's the vent. That's fresh out. I haven't vacuumed that or wiped it out or done zero to it other than just pop this thing out. So let me get that cleaned up in there and get this thing cleaned up, and then we can get things back together. I'm gonna paint. See, this is the primer and the glue in there. There's a lot of bare metal here. It's all 100% bare metal. So I think I'm just gonna take a brush and paint all this just in here, just so it doesn't get rust in the future. But I think it'll just help make it last a little longer, that's all. The right hand vent is all ready for paint now. Yep, this side came out good too. So I'm going to let everything dry overnight and put it together tomorrow. That is still drying. Painted these screws too. Got all this stuff painted. This is all the right hand side stuff. That is going to be it for today. Like I say, I'm going to let everything dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'll put the vents back in, the parking brake cable assembly back in, and if I have time I'll pull the steering column so I can start getting ready to reinstall a dash. I want to put the pad on it and then throw it back in. But anyway, that's it. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, subscribe to it by hitting that 348 engine icon that pops up there. And thank you for watching my videos.